Well, a major push is now underway to make sure Bay Area residents can hop on public transit to make it work to school or anywhere else. Agencies like BART and Muni are facing difficult choices in the wake of major budget problems. Our Karen St. Cyr spoke to a regular Muni rider about the plan to avoid cuts to service.
For Sebastian Petty, public transportation is a lifeline. He uses both BART and Muni for his commute, but it's also how his sick father gets the care he needs.
My father, who's fairly elderly, relies on paratransit to get him to a day program that he attends. That's great for me because it allows me to work a regular schedule.
Sebastian's life is on a tight schedule, but the consistency of his commute is now in jeopardy. Muni and BART are facing a devastating deficit, with Muni projecting a $300 million shortfall in 2026, and BART facing its own $350 to $400 million shortfall the year after. Both would have a dramatic impact on commuters, who would see drastic cuts in services. Senator Scott Wiener is proposing a sales tax to soften the blow.
It is in everyone's interest to make sure that we have high-functioning transit, and devastating service cuts where we, for example, have hourly BART trains or no weekend BART service or reduction of Muni frequency by up to 50% and so forth. That is not in anyone's interest.
Wiener's proposing a 1-cent sales tax in San Francisco and a half-cent tax in other Bay Area counties like Alameda and Contra Costa. His proposal will be sent to a ballot for voters to decide in November 2026.
There is no downtown recovery without good transit, and the Bay Area will be severely weakened if we let this happen.
BART spokesperson Alicia Tross says BART hasn't decided where it stands on the tax, but agrees something must be done.
We run 4,000 trains. We would only run 500 trains. I mean, can you imagine having to wait for your train for an hour and having to probably transfer to get to your end destination? Several stations we'd have to close, and that would only cover half the deficit.
If the measure passes, voters would pay the tax for 10 to 15 years. A small price, Petty says, for a healthy transportation system.
And State Senator Jesse Arreguín from Berkeley is also asking the legislature to provide more short-term funding for transit agencies, since that ballot measure vote would not take place until late next year.